everyone, my name is Kerenza. I'm a third year fashion communication and promotion student at NUA, and today I'm back with episode number 3 of the series aimed at new students and people starting university in September. So in today's episode we are talking all things budgeting, so how to spread out your loan payments, how to save money where possible, and how to make your money just go a little bit further whilst being a student. I feel like budgeting is one of those things that sounds really boring to have to sit there and plan out your money, but it is so essential, especially whilst you're at uni and you may be earning a little bit less than what you're used to if you work full-time or part-time before coming here. So it's just going to make your life a lot easier to get this sorted. So in the first part of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I did my budgeting and how I sorted out my loan payments so they were spread equally across however many months they had to last me. So I'm going to pop in the corner here how I did it, just like a breakdown, but I'm also going to talk you guys through it too. So I just made a paper copy of how I was going to budget, and I also wrote it on my notes on my phone as well, just so I sort of had it with me at all times. But you can make an Excel spreadsheet or you can do it however you want really. But basically how I did it is I worked out how much I was going to get with each loan instalment and how many months that would have to last me for rent and bills, and then split the money between that. So everyone's loan is going to differ, and that is completely normal. So if we go off the figure that your first loan instalment is going to be £3,000, I then immediately work out how much my rent and bills are each month. So if we say, for example, that they're £500, and then that has to do October, November, December and January. So I'd take away £2,000 and then I'd be left with the £1,000 remaining from your loan. From there, I would then split that between 4 months. Oh my God, that's really bright. I would then split that between 4 months so that I'm giving myself an equal budget for each month. So 1,000 divided by 4 is £250 per month for that instalment. And then from there, I work out the rest of my budgeting. Everyone's outgoings each month are going to be different, as people might have monthly subscriptions like Spotify, Netflix, or a phone contract, gym membership. So you have to accommodate for those as well, and make sure you take them away immediately, as you know they're going to be coming out each month regardless. And then another thing you have to counter for is your food shop. This is obviously going to be essential. You're going to need to eat. You can either do, I try and do a food shop to last me like a week and a half. So even though I may spend like a little bit more when I go, it feels like it lasts longer, and then it's less of like a chore to go each week. But I would probably budget out like £20 to £25 per food shop if that's weekly or every week and a half, as I feel like that's going to be a good amount to get like all your fruit and veg, and then all your other staples, dry foods, snacks, just anything like that that you know you're going to eat weekly. Just make sure you sort of accommodate for that within your weekly food budget. So that is just an example of how I worked out my budget and how I laid it out. I have a copy on my phone just so that when I'm going around I'm like, oh, I don't know if I've got enough for that. I can check and think like, yeah, that's fine, that sort of works within my budget. It is important to give yourself a little bit of leeway as well, as you're never going to stick to a budget 100%. Like, as much as you try, I think sometimes when spontaneous things come up, you don't want to be thinking like, oh, I don't have an extra £20 for that or an extra £10. You just want to have fun. So make sure that you do give yourself a little bit of leeway so that you don't have to stick to it, you know, to the exact pound. As important as it is to stay on track and make sure you've got enough, you don't want to restrict yourself completely. So now that I've gone over the budgeting side of things, I thought I'd share a few extra little tips and tricks just to help you save money where you can and make your money go a little bit further. So when buying clothes, there are loads of charity shops in Norwich. So if you don't want to buy new, or you feel like you can't afford to every month, definitely check out the charity shops, or we have quite a few vintage stores in town and they'll be a lot cheaper. Or alternatively, you can shop online at secondhand places like Vinted or Depop. These, I honestly think they're amazing. Like, over the summer I've been converted to Vinted because there's just so much choice on there and it is so cheap. Make sure that you sign up to UNIDAYS and Student Beans for additional student discounts. These are great just for saving, even if it's like 10% on different websites if you're planning to order from them, or especially food deals like midweek. They have loads of different things on there, health, beauty, fitness, loads, honestly, just anything on there. Even if it's a website you wouldn't usually shop from, but then they have a discount on, then it gives you more incentive to buy from there than somewhere where you might have to buy at full price. Make sure that you're taking advantage of any of the resources that the university are supplying for you. So whether that's physical resources like books from the library, or digital ones, like any programs that you can use for free with your university email, make sure that you do, rather than having to pay for one separately. But yeah, so definitely Adobe Cloud is a good one because you get loads of different programs on there, or just anything else that you can borrow or rent out from the university, take advantage of that, as that'll be a lot cheaper. Course supplies is a very important thing that you'll have to accommodate your budget for, and this is going to vary between courses. So if you need more physical supplies, like if you do fine art, then you are going to have to spend a little bit more money on that, so make sure you accommodate that in your budget. Or if you do something like gaming, then a lot of it is digital, so you may not have to spend quite as much. But if you do need supplies for your course, then make sure you go to the NUA shop first, as obviously this is going to be very student friendly for your budget, or just try and shop around and find the cheapest alternative. But just make sure, if you need to spend a little bit more on physical resources or online resources for your course, just accommodate that in your budget. If you use the train to travel home a lot, I would 100% recommend getting a Railcard. You can buy it annually, or you can buy one that lasts for 3 years. But once you buy it, you save 1/3 on all rail journeys, and I just think this is so worth it. I use the train at least like once or twice a week to go home or go and see friends, and it is so worth it. So I would definitely recommend getting one of those. On top of the tips that I've given you to make your money stretch a little bit further, I think an obvious thing that a lot of students have to consider is getting a part-time job. Personally, this is something I would really recommend. I've worked all through my 2 years at university so far, and I'm still going to be working going into my 3rd year. It's really good on the financial side to bring in like an extra couple of £100 each month, which you can then incorporate into your budget or save or just have it for yourself. But also for a social side, I'd say it's really good. It's a reason to get out of the house, and you don't feel guilty for not doing uni work, as there's another commitment. You get to talk to people at work, so it's a really nice social side, and just stay busy, and then just meet other people as well. So I would say it is a really positive thing. I'd say try to keep it between like 6 and 12 hours a week, so then that works out to be like 1 or 2 shifts each week, so then that way you don't feel like overworked with uni work and then a part-time job. But I personally would recommend this. So I really hope that all the tips and advice that I've shared in this video have been really helpful for you, and hopefully you can apply that to your budget and just make your money stretch a little bit further. If you think there's any tips that I may have missed out that you'd like to share, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, then other people can have a read of them too. But I will see you in the next episode, and thanks very much for watching. Bye!